Okay, so how do I join you?
Okay, let me
Bro
join
is
the
is
game real
is
quick.
bro's plugging his SoundCloud and his Roblox profile.
Dude, I have to do what I got to do.
I mean, yeah, this is some real grassroots shit. You have fucking 4,000 followers on Roblox? What are you, a Roblox content creator? What is going on?
I'm a rogue gangster.
Hello once again. I, at some point not too long ago, interviewed an artist. And during this interview, you will hear me refer to said artist by the name Evergarden. But I procrastinated, which is my fault. But somewhere between the time this interview was recorded and the time that it is being posted, he changed his name on me. So now I look like a doofus referring to this man as Evergarden throughout the whole video. So every time you hear the word Evergarden being said, just imagine that I'm saying ADDY. But I talked to ADDY, an upcoming underground pop artist based in Toronto, about his process on making music, what brought him into it, and how he survives the demanding landscape at such a young age. Um, we played Roblox because it was the one game that he had installed. So that's what we did. You know, GC Man got me on Apex and Addy got me on Roblox. So without further ado, here is the interview. Okay, so
Exactly.
today I'm joined by Evergarden,
Good morning.
underground indie pop icon, dare I say, icon.
Icon.
So today during our interview, he has decided, I guess by default, this is the only game he has. By default, we have decided to play Roblox during the interview. What do you like about what do you like about Roblox, Evergarden?
Well, to put it briefly,
Oh
it's one
shit.
of the only games I can run. But
Okay, so it's kind of like not
also,
really your choice.
right, it kind of is not my choice. But I also kind of just grew up with this game since I was like what, 9, 10.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's kind of nostalgic. I come back to it every summer. So it's
Every
kind of
so
cool.
it's a seasonal
Yeah.
game.
It literally is a seasonal game, yeah.
So once the air gets brisk and the leaves start to fall off the trees, like you're done. You go
Yep,
into
I'm done.
hibernation
But
and you don't play
this
Roblox
time I'm
again.
not.
Okay, so
Yep.
this is a break in the habit.
Yep, it's the breaking the cycle.
Okay, just starting off with some general information here. Um, Tell us who you are, what you do, and if you want to go a little deeper, what Evergarden means, or at least means to you.
Um, so I'm Evergarden. My real name's Addy or Adnan. I don't know. I don't care what people prefer to like call me by. And I'm a grade 12 senior right now. I'm 16, and Evergarden is just like I didn't really put much thought into the name as like an alias. It's just kind of what sounded right and I thought was cool because replacing the vowel with an X. Oh my god, I'm
It's a
quirky.
classic, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. um
Sometimes
but
you
yeah,
see the
no,
names
but
that are so butchered with like X's and like spaces. You
right,
don't even know
right.
what the original term was supposed to be.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I didn't want that, so I just kept it kind of classic. And Evergarden, obviously from the anime Violet Evergarden. I still haven't finished it, but from what I've heard, I heard it's really sad, and
Fake fan.
I need to finish the rest of the episodes.
Awesome.
But yeah,
So you know, I've been following your music personally for about what is it, 2 years probably. Um,
right.
and and you know, back when you weren't even Evergarden, you went by Feast.
Mm-hmm.
So and you started music pretty young. So how would you describe like the landscape of making music in an environment that is pretty heavily dominated by people around the 20 to 27 age range, and how would you, this is kind of a double question, and how would you describe the sort of takeover that a younger artist base is making, like, you know, more younger and younger artists are becoming, you know, more popular, more as oxymoronic as it sounds, mainstream in the underground.
Right. Um, at first I thought it was kind of awkward coming into the scene, like especially the lo-fi scene when I first started. There was not much people like around my age that were taken very seriously, and it was like until the hyperpop scene started like kind of blowing up, where I started to notice like, oh, more people my age started like getting a bit more attention throughout the scene and getting more respect from people like Glaive, Quinn. They all kind of just started getting, little amounts of, I would say clout, but I know it's a controversial term, but
Attention.
yeah, intention. And yeah, no, but at first I thought it was cool, but then I started to feel like this like competition, because at first I was like, oh, I'm young, because I hear it from all my friends and supporters like, you're young, you have time, you can take your time with music. But then when people of my age started coming into the scene, it's more like I have to hurry up and get on my best level before they
Yeah,
take over.
like it's no longer like you're young, you have time to grow. Now because so much of the scene is dominated by people your age. Now it's like, "Oh, well, now I have to like catch up."
Exactly,
Do you
yeah.
think that kind of puts like whether perceived or sort of like tangible, do you think that kind of puts a little bit of extra pressure on you to sort of stand out in a genre
Hmm.
that is very very saturated in a way?
Yeah, no, for sure. I, I, I'd say like around after I dropped my EP, that pressure kind of just took over, and I spent a long time trying to like figure out like my sound and everything about my characters and artists.
Mhm.
And but I feel like that pressure is what I needed, because that like desperate measure I went to for finding that sound kind of just paid off
Mhm.
into what I am now. Because it's kind of like what you crack under pressure, or like you get. There was some saying that goes with that, but yeah.
So
Um,
speaking of your sound, how would you describe it? Just how would you describe your sound to somebody that has never heard it? You
I
could be
still
as
don't know what I describe it, because it's just like I use like the full extent of my voice to like as much as I can. I try to do every genre I could possibly think of,
Mhm. What's like
and
your favorite genre to do?
my favorite genre has to be like what I've been doing lately. Like I don't know what to call it. It's more like indie pop or alternative pop, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, hmm and that along with like trap metal music, I love that kind of shit. And
So
yeah,
kind of like a wide array of sounds that you're kind of utilizing here. Um,
yeah, for sure.
so like I said, where I've been following your music for a bit, and I picked up on some like, let's say, like emo rap influences early on.
Hmm.
As a lot of people that sort of get into this scene definitely start with that kind of sound. It's
Right.
for the longest time it was the dominant sound in the scene, and it's just what everyone that was popular did. You have huge names like XXXTentacion and Lil Peep
Yeah.
just being the face of like underground music, and then you have smaller but definitely still impactful names like Nothing Nowhere, Gucci High Waters,
Hmm.
Garden. I've noticed that you're shifting more towards like you said, like a pop sound, like an indie pop sound.
Right.
But early on, and even now, who do you think that who or what have you taken influence from when it comes to creating your music?
Right. So okay, so I have a lot of these in like phases.
Okay,
So first starting off,
we'll create like a
it
timeline.
yeah, I'll give you a timeline. So when I first started off, it was Powerful and Rose Boy. They were like my biggest inspirations for starting out music in general. And I think they're like kind of what just like made me come to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm buying a mic, I'm buying an interface. I'm gonna start learning to make beats or whatever. Um,
So would you say they got you
and
into making
then
music at all?
yeah, they got me into like vocal production for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, like my friend Satun, I met him like right when I started making music. So he introduced me to like a lot of like more underground emo rap artists like Gucci High Waters, Nine Tails. Well, Nine Tails I kind of just found out on my own after that, but he definitely did help me like find those people, and I think that influenced like a lot of my lyrics. And there was a like you noticed there was like a genuine phase where um that type like emo rap was my genre, and I really did enjoy making that. I thought that was like a big step because that's when I started learning to like my vocal ability to like layer really well.
Yeah.
And then I found Breakins, and I think he has been my biggest inspiration, like overall, as like for everything. Um, and like, let's see, like I think hyperpop when that came into the play, I think that's what initially like just made me realize that I can like drive more into the pop scene rather than like just being a emo rap. So like my lyrics still have that emo rap influence, yet this music is still like
Yeah.
more catchy as I want it
Your
to be.
influences are kind of blended. Like maybe lyrically, you're more so inspired by the early emo rap and emo trap influences,
Hmm.
but maybe sound wise, genre wise, the newer wave of of hyper pop and similar genres are kind of like what's pushing your sound, like sonically.
Yep, exactly.
All right, awesome. So apart from, I know that you said that like Rose Boy and there is another name that I can't quite remember. Were kind of like
Hmm.
the driving forces to get you into like creating like your own original music.
Hmm.
Was there any sort of like music you did beforehand, or was
Um.
that just like a from scratch, no experience thing?
So ever since like seventh grade, my parents made me take choir in middle school. And at first, like I was kind of good at it, and I guess like the validation I got from being good at it made me want to do it more.
It's just this has
And
been
this,
only for attention the whole time.
no, it literally was. Yeah, I was like, this makes me feel good, so I did it more and more. And there was what's it called? Then I lost my train of thought.
Oh, you're fine.
But let's
I've
see,
just been getting fucked in Roblox, dude.
dude,
I
I'm about to die.
I get killed in like the first 10 seconds of every natural disaster that hits this poor island. So like
Dude, this silence has been through it all.
I have no idea what's going on. I really don't.
God. But yeah, so besides that, I just like know how to sing like loud, I guess. I wasn't really like very on key because it was choir. You don't really get like picked on if you're not on key. Um and I did that until 10th grade. And
Okay.
yeah, that's when I decided I wanted to like I just woke up one day, I was like, fuck it, I want to learn how to make beats. And that was like my first, I guess, like touch into music. Because uh
So you just woke
I
up
had
one
the
day and
FL.
were like, "Fuck it,
Yeah, no,
like why not?"
it literally was like there was no like, my family was struggling to feed my find food. No, nothing like that. I
No,
just
I
woke
just
up and was bored.
enjoyment. It's for fun.
Yeah, I genuinely was just
Um
bored. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna learn how to make
so
beats. And
since then, how do you think that your perspective towards like content creation and making music and making art, how do you think that your perspective has changed? Like or has it? Maybe it hasn't changed.
right, so okay, I've content creation has always been something that like intrigued me ever since I was like, because I grew up watching YouTubers like Dan TDM, PewDiePie. I wanted to be a YouTuber with all my heart. But
Every kid did, you know?
yeah, no, everyone my age
It was
basically did
like
have a phase.
the dream job for the
It
new
was.
generation.
You play games and you get paid. Oh my god. Yeah,
Sounds
it
like
was
the ideal
sick.
life, honestly.
Exactly. And back like I guess like back then I kind of despised music, not gonna lie. Like I didn't find
That
any
was
interest
like
whatsoever in
your
the.
villain arc.
No, it legit was. I had no interest in making the music whatsoever. I was just like, fuck this. It's boring to make music. I like listening to it. Like I wasn't obsessed with it or anything. I just listened to the songs on the radio and just sing along. That's it. There was nothing big.
Yeah, so like no
So
like
I
deeper meaning in your life.
exactly, yeah. And I wish there was, but like there really isn't. Um but I think like after I started making music and people started like again, that attention kind of drives me always. And I know that sucks, but I mean, lately it's been more like self-drive. But for a long time, that attention was what drove me to keep making music. And I guess like it fed into that childhood dream of content creation because this is still a form of being.
Yeah, like that was kind of
Yeah,
like your way of doing it.
exactly. Yeah.
And you know, I don't know how many people would agree, but I don't necessarily think that like strive Oh, a volcano's erupting.
Oh
I don't think
shit!
that
What the fuck?
strive for attention is necessarily a bad thing. I think that
Mm-hmm.
anybody who creates art, um, to some extent, wants their hard work and effort to be noticed, to be recognized. You know,
Right.
if
Yeah.
if I spend a long time making something, even if I have gotten a sense of self fulfillment
Mm-hmm.
and self validation from it, even if I have given those things to myself, there's an entirely different area of like psychological need where you want somebody else to notice that you've done something that you're proud of.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You know, it's why kids show their parents their shitty drawings they do and have them put
Exactly.
them on
Oh
the
fuck!
fridge. Oh,
I got demolished.
I went down 4 floors. Um,
But yeah, no, I
so
agree.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that we inherently kind of just want attention for what we view as accomplishments.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
You know, we've kind of talked about your influences. We've kind of talked about how, you know, what your sound is.
Hmm.
What is like the process of making like an Evergarden song? Like, is it fairly straightforward? Is it a super complex process that a mere mortal like me would never understand? Like, what's going on in that noggin of yours?
Honestly, I wish I could like help people with that part of the music making sometimes, but like what I tell everyone is that I find a beat and I try to think of a really catchy melody to it. Like I start humming or like I start mumbling and saying random words and just making up any kind of tune that's on key. And if it sounds good, I immediately like put it into my DAW and I start recording. And like lately I've been focusing a bit more on lyrics, so I take the time to actually type it out because before I didn't type it out. It was more so like a multi-take freestyle.
Okay, so it's sort of
And
like this emphasis on like melodies and sound, and you're just kind of like
yeah,
throwing shit at a wall, hoping something
exactly.
sticks.
Yep, that's how my creative process is.
Um, do you play any instruments?
I have an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar. I used to play, well, okay, so in 6th grade, I was in a violin class and
No way. When I was a kid, I took violin too.
and
I
within
don't know.
like 2 months of the class, I learned that was not for me.
I don't remember a
Cause
single thing from that violin
oh
class.
yeah, no, me neither. The teacher was low key a bitch. We failed at the performance, so I'm like, I'm dropping out of this class.
I
So
went through an array of instruments before I finally found one that I was good at.
yeah, and when I was young, my grandpa used to spoil me with like shit like that. So whenever I'd say like out of impulse, I want a piano, he'd buy me a whole keyboard, and I had like me as a kid, obviously I'd have an interest for it like 2 days, and then I just stopped
Yeah,
touching
that
it.
kind of like super short. You're like you love the idea of something, and that attention span just
Exactly.
is dead 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
I kind
Yes.
of had a similar thing. I asked for a game that required a racing like a steering wheel and a gas
Right.
pedal to
Right.
play. And I played it like twice. It was like $300. Um, and I wasted it. I won't lie, I
Holy
wasted that
shit.
money. I played that game a handful of times. Probably not. I could probably count on at least one or two hands how
Oh
many times I
god.
played that game. And it wasn't even bad. I was just like, fuck this, dude. Like, I'm gonna go play Lego Star Wars. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. And it's like the child brain, it is what it is. Like you're gonna cry if you don't get it. So I don't know, man. It's a weird concept.
Kids are
But
weird, you know. There's a
yeah.
lot of very raw emotions there that are not easily controlled. Did I survive? I've survived so
I
far.
didn't.
Oh,
No
dude,
way.
I'm getting better. I'm beating you at your own game here.
You're learning fast.
I'm
Okay,
on I'm
look at
on your
you.
I'm on your turf. So
Damn.
fuck. You see that where is it? No, there's my name. I'm not gonna say which one mine is. We're gonna cut out the
Yeah, I
part.
see it.
Because man, bad time.
Bad
So in
times.
terms of like goals, you know, you've been making music for a while now, and you're kind of in, and I actually talked about this in my previous interview with GC Main
Hmm.
about artists kind of like hitting a wall
Right.
where they've built the quality of their sound pretty consistently over, you know, whatever period of time is
Hmm.
measured, and they hit this kind of wall of improvement where you're kind of plateauing in the quality. You don't know what you can do to get better. You feel like you're kind of stuck. You're considering quitting because you feel like nothing is improving. Have you struggled with hitting those walls? Have things been smooth sailing up until now? How is
Yeah.
how has that been?
I'd say for sure I've hit like that wall, like at least like maybe twice throughout my music course. I think around when I like dropped trance, like that's when I was like starting to get desperate for like, oh, what is my real style? Like what defines me is me. And I think during that like level of desperateness, I started to just like consider quitting music because I was finding comfort in like, okay, something goes off in my brain when you make a song, and like you know that too. And that I started getting so comfortable in my real life, I forgot that feeling. And I tried to get that again and again, but it was so hard to make something that pleased my own expectations. And
Like
I think
chasing
like
that high almost.
exactly, yeah. And I think the best way to overcome that is to listen to different shit and just get inspired by different things. And honestly, fuck your expectations. And as I know they're gonna, oh fuck, I died. But I know they're
Oh
gonna be
no!
there. I know they're gonna be there no matter what. But there's only so much you can do, and you can just make the best out of it. And yeah, always bring change because like even me, I'm someone who gets. This is coming from a person who gets bored with things really, really fast. Like I have fucking commitment issues with every single thing I can think of, like friendships, relationships. Um, so it's like a change is a really big thing that I need in my life. If I don't have it, I'm definitely gonna get affected by that, and it reflects onto the quality of like whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Whenever I'm in a rut, and because you kind of like you said, like there's like desperation involved, where
Mm-hmm.
you can't come up with something that reaches the standard that honestly that you believe it should be at, because
Right.
as artists we've kind of set our own standards for ourselves, and
Exactly.
every time we hit a benchmark like this, the bar gets a little higher.
Yep.
And I have found that every time that I have hit that wall as well, and you get desperate and you try to force something out, it is never good. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot force a good song.
Yeah. No.
Um, so in terms of hitting those walls and getting past them, because I would say getting past them is a huge achievement on its own. Kind of I died from
I
nothing.
died too. Same. What the
My
fuck?
head shot a mile away. But
This
in
game is
terms,
rigged.
it's horrible. I don't know why I'm doing this. In terms of getting past those goals, or getting past those walls and hitting those goals, what are some things you want to accomplish, in the next, X amount of time, 1 month, 10 years, anywhere in between, what are things that you want to see accomplished as a direct result of you progressing the quality, of your art?
Right. Like as much as I don't want to like say it, I feel like I do want to reach for statistics again because it does give me a sense of validation. Like again, I said the attention drives people, and from a like there was a time where I had a lot of numbers in Spotify, not too much, but like a good 3K. That was my peak, and like that drove me to make a lot of music, and that
Oh, okay.
I don't
So
know.
it's almost like that's not the goal, but like that helps
That's a
you.
factor.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it helps you get that motivation to make music.
Hmm. And overall, I think I just want like some of my goals are like I want a discography that's like appealable to me. Like I can show this to someone and be like, "Oh, this is me. This is exactly like what I'm capable of." And
Hmm.
my branding, I want it to, like I want to get it down. I want to get it perfect.
You kind
And
of really have to filter some stuff to get that result.
yeah, yeah, no. It's hard, but I think it's worth the time taken.
Well, I think that goes back to setting that standard for yourself, where
Exactly.
you look at past songs and you're like, I still enjoy these songs and I enjoyed making it, but it doesn't really hit the quality of what I want to be representative of me right now.
Yeah.
Is there and I feel like this is a pretty age old question for any artist. No matter how small, big, realistic, unrealistic, what's some like collaborative efforts that you would want to, or collaborative endeavors that you would want to be able to pursue?
I mean, like I said before, my number one inspiration is breaking. So like, hey man, if I can work with them, I would like take it in a heartbeat.
I'm getting
But
Brackets on the phone right now.
please, but besides that, there's not like a proper inspiration of anyone I want to work with. It's more so like I want to be able to like, what's the word? Be self-sufficient. I don't know if that's the right word.
Okay,
but
so stand on your own as an artist. You don't
yeah,
you
I
don't want to
wanna.
rely on. You want to go triple platinum with no features.
Yeah, exactly. No, I want to be able to take credit for
What the
like
fuck?
my.
You
Okay,
said
that's
no
fucked up.
one.
That's fucked up.
You said no
That's
one else
fucked
is
up.
getting a single smidgen of credit
You
from
fucked
me.
them. Every garden up top. No, I'm playing, but break-ins. I'd like to work with Glaive too, and
He worked with MGK recently,
I know I
and
saw that.
everyone
It was
got
really
really mad.
they were flipped. Oh god, it was a messy scene.
Well, you know what? I think that we should have seen it coming. You know?
Yeah, it was gonna happen. I mean, like
Listen,
to be honest,
Glaive.
looking if
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Glaive was very, very explicit in the fact that he wanted to be mainstream.
Exactly.
He didn't want to stay underground. I'm pretty much he said verbatim like, you know, like I want to be mainstream. That is my goal.
Yeah.
And to be fair, to get that mainstream popularity, there were better artists to work with other
Right.
than MGK. But why it's you should have expected it. Like that's what he said he was going to do, I guess.
Right. And I guess that like kind of controversy around him got him a bit more attention to his name.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Any press is good press. Essentially.
Exactly.
So even if this attention that he's receiving is, oh, like boo, you made a song with MGK, like people are still going to listen to it. You know, that
Yes,
brings more attention towards it. So I know that you mentioned earlier that you kind of started off music, not even necessarily in a vocal sense, but in terms of like production and learning beats and all that stuff. Were there any early influences for beat making, like other producers? And are you still making beats, or are you primarily focused on vocal performances right now?
Yeah. So when I first started, like, I was in my like phase of listening to Juice World and Lil Peep. So I wanted to like the typical guitar trap beats were what I tried to make. And like it was kind of easy at first, like finding a loop, slapping some drums on it, and I don't know, it set something off in my brain again, which kind of drove me to make more music. And I'm like, yo, I want to do more. I want to feel more. Like, I want a more sense of, I don't know if gratification is the right word. I don't know, man. I'm throwing words,
Oh, you're
but
good.
yeah, it definitely that like drove me to produce more. And then once I got my microphone and I started recording more vocals, I stopped making beats for a while. And then I realized, well, then I met some like producer friends and they inspired me to kind of start again. And I occasionally do make beats. Like now that I have an electric guitar, I try to like record often and try to come up with a beat that I can
Okay,
potentially use.
so you've kind of gone from only doing that, then to putting that off for vocal work, and kind of returning back to it, but also initially starting off using like loops and packs, and now you're trying to sort of like make your own loops, use your own sounds in order to give it maybe a more you feel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think that like sort of the divide between like vocal performances and production, like do you think that is something that you want to sort of like multitask and handle at the same time, like maybe producing your own vocal songs, or do you view those view those activities and those areas of skill as two separate things?
For now, I do kind of view them as two separate things because I feel as my production skills aren't good enough to satisfy the expectations I have for my instrumentals. Like when I look for YouTube beats, like my expectations are like
Oh, I'm
really,
picky as
really
hell, dude.
high.
I'm so picky.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very, very picky with my beats. So if it doesn't like have a good catchy, potentially catchy melody, I will drop the beat
Mhm.
entirely. Which is why I'm like, I know for a fact the only way uh I can like at the end goal will always be to self produce because I know what I want and I just have to figure out how to make it.
I mean,
But
yeah, no one knows you better than yourself.
exactly, yeah. Like the sounds that like make me go like, "Oh shit, that sounds good. I want to record on that." Like once I figure that out, I feel like then I'll start to like be more in the direction of, "Oh, I can make beats that are, good enough for my expectations." So yeah,
Okay.
right now they're two separate things, but
Okay. Well,
hopefully in the
since
future they can
oh
be
yeah,
one.
yeah. So since they're two separate things,
Hmm.
and you have mentioned that you're rather specific, kind of nitpicky when it comes to production, which is okay. So am
Right.
I. I'm incredibly critical of any beat that I even consider using.
Right.
So who are some like go-to producers? Like who is consistently making beats that like appeal to you? I can use these most of the time. Like, who's really putting out some beats that you just
Right.
enjoy?
So, uh, at first it was okay. I'll give you a timeline for this too.
Okay.
But at first it was Beats by Con, the typical you know the channel,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
typical
yeah.
free for profit lo-fi beats. There were or I feel like where everyone started.
Khan's been going
Um,
crazy for like a long time.
yeah, no, Con was carrying the lo-fi scene for a while, and
Him, Godlow.
uh, God, oh yeah, yeah, Eric Godlow, the classic.
Eric Godlow has like mastered
Yeah,
sort of like the modern lo-fi
he is
sound. Dude
lo-fi.
can fucking mass produce it like a madman. All right, I'm
It's
interrupting. I'm
crazy.
interrupting. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But oh fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So and then I found more like the typical juice roll beat producers. I think it was Ross Gossage. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I've
And
seen some of Ross's beats around.
yeah, and then I found uh Immortal. And when I found Immortal, it was like a really, really, really big step in my sound. Like that, I think it's two people, but they're fucking crazy at their beats. Like I've never like it's so fucking creative and like there's always little things that are different. It's not repetitive. There's different
Yeah.
sounds that like are ear candy to my brain.
So that was like a
And it's
stylistic turning point almost.
yeah, exactly. I feel like once I started listening to more Immortal beats, I'm like, yo, this is what I want. And like I had he Immortal's beats like supplied my music for like a good while. And not all of them are released. Like I only released like one third of the songs I recorded on
Okay.
Immortal Beats. But besides that, very lately there have been two producers I go to, which are MCX and Young Spoiler. Obviously, Young Spoiler, like
I
today itself, Young Spoiler has been just carrying my entire day.
I love
Like
Young Spoiler. I think
Young
Young Spoiler
Spoilers,
is an incredibly
I
talented
think
producer.
I think he's carrying the scene single handedly with the production for sure.
Yeah,
Like
no, I think in terms of like super underground, like he is uh I believe it is he maybe. They have provided a lot of like the foundational work for like hyper pop and that sort of like
yeah,
hyper pop punk sort of blend.
100%, 100. Like, I noticed he makes like a lot of his loops all by himself, and he's part of a band too. So I can see why that is like just comes
Yeah,
off as easy to
dude's
him.
got
Not
some
easy, but
experience.
easier. Yeah, and then it's just fucking crazy how good he is, and a lot of his beats just like click in my brain. Like today, I made my favorite song ever, and yeah, it was
Congrats.
really fun.
So
Thank you.
yeah, of course, all of these these producers are primarily marketing themselves on YouTube as like general production, free for nonprofit,
Right.
selling leases on like BeatStars and TrackTrain and
Mm-hmm.
associated websites. Are there any sort of like individual producers, and it could be these people, but are there any individual producers that you would want to sort of see yourself working one on one with in the near future? Somebody that you wanted sit down with. I just fucking died. Somebody that you would want to sit down with and sort of craft something together rather than just picking from a catalog almost.
Yeah. Um. if I could like work with Young Spoiler, I would really love to, because I feel like what he has to like bring in, like, I want to see his creative process. I feel like I could learn so much from him,
So
and
you want like
it
a
would be
glimpse
like
into that process.
yeah, exactly. Like if I could watch him make like a beat, I would take it up in a heartbeat. And yeah, like working with him, I would definitely say would be something I'd, if I could do, I would. And killed myself, right?
Absolute,
Yeah,
dude. That is,
yeah,
dude. Nah, we can't get into this right
killed
now.
myself.
I gotta keep my
Oh
mouth.
my
I gotta
god.
keep my mouth shut before I start going on a 20-year tangent about how I walked her home for the last time. Was one of the first AMVs that totally broke my heart because it was Orange, one of my favorite anime at the time. We're gonna not fucking talk
I
about
gotta
that.
watch that.
Dude, it's fucking, dude, Orange is heartbreak.
I'm watching it tonight.
It's 12 episodes. You can finish it easy. It might be
Fuck,
less.
alright,
It might
bet.
be 10 episodes.
Okay, bet.
All right.
But
Anyways, kill myself.
yeah, I
Yes.
killed myself. I want to work with him as well.
He's from what I've seen, uploads infrequently
Yeah, he's been very MIA.
with
which is weird.
withdraws a couple uploads every now and then. But
Mhm.
man, that quality control,
Jeez,
stunning,
it's insane.
insane. I mean, I remember the exposure to Kill Myself beats years and years and years ago, and like that shit is melancholy.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is wistful. It's crazy.
Like,
It's insane.
I listen to his music and it's just like genuine art.
Yeah, and when you listen to it, it doesn't sound very like I would say technically complex.
Right.
It's never trying to like flex on you.
Yeah.
It's very
like,
much like a pretty and modest and like ethereal production quality.
but it's made with so much like, there's so much focus put into it. Like you can clearly hear that, but it's not meant to sound like it.
Yeah, there's
Like,
a
I don't know how
lot
to
of
explain it.
care.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but it's like, it just perfects it even more.
Yeah, it's
Instead of, like,
you know,
trying to
not
boom it
trying
out.
not trying to prove anything. Like it's just like
Exactly.
I know that I have quality. I'm gonna push it out there and then fucking dip. Oh, hey, you have a
Yeah.
balloon?
Yeah, I have a balloon.
Where
I
did you
paid
get
for
that? You paid for you paid fucking Robux?
it. $1. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
No,
Goodbye.
no. Dude, I'm still up there. I'm still up.
No fucking way. What the
I'm
fuck?
in the no,
Hacking.
dude, I
This
did it.
bitch ass- What the fuck? This bitch ass hacked.
Dude, I was wall jumping against the chimney of the house
No
as it
fucking
was
way.
enveloped by lava. Dude, that was the craziest Roblox
I'm
play.
reporting you for hacking.
I was dude. You can watch the VOD when I post this shit. That's the craziest
Epic
play I've
gameplay.
ever seen.
Holy shit.
Okay, so we are at 45 minutes. Congrats, you've made it this
What
far.
the fuck? That was fast.
I know, right? Time flies when you're talking about yourself.
It does.
Um,
Wow.
nah, dude, it does. To close out this wonderful interview, thank you so much for coming on here, by the way. You are the
course.
second official interview that I've done. And
Hell yeah.
you know what? It went well. I think I've learned a lot about you today. A lot of it I already acid rain. A lot of it that I kind of knew.
Sorry.
So to end it off, we're kind of gonna go for a low risk, sort of like questionnaire, a parting questionnaire.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna fire off some simple stuff, yes or no questions. Elaborate if you would like to, but there is no need to. And they will not be related to any like context that we have established so far.
Bet.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite color?
Black, but it's not a color, so red.
You're edgy as fuck. It's the
Shut up.
absence of color.
You just said low stakes.
Favorite?
Wow.
You're right. I'm a fucking liar. I totally attacked you for
God.
that. I literally was like, hey, you won't be judged here, and then immediately fucking judge you.
You fucking edgy.
You want
God damn.
to hear something edgier?
What?
I don't have a favorite color.
Are you fucking weirdo?
Now you're the judgmental one. Fuck you. Anyways, next
Yeah.
question. What is your favorite cultural cuisine?
The fuck is that mean?
You know
What?
what is your favorite?
Cultural
What's your favorite
cues.
like
Oh,
food?
oh, what the fuck?
You know, like the sort of like, for example, my favorite food would be I would say probably, I know it's a continent, but like Asian food. I really enjoy Japanese food,
Oh,
like ramen and sushi, and then I also love Italian food because I have Italian roots. So
right, right.
chicken parmigiana, stuff like that. So like, what is like a culture that you just very much appreciate their food?
I love Chinese food. Like, I'm a whore for Chinese food. I'm
Hell
sorry,
yeah,
but
hell yeah. Do you have like a super like cheap like rundown Chinese place close to where you live that sells the best food in the world?
okay. So before I moved, Panda Express was my fucking go-to. I love them with all my heart.
Panda Express,
But
hell yeah, okay.
dude, a lot of people shit on it, but it's like, dude, I fucking love them. And when I moved, I was heartbroken to hear that there's only like 2 Panda Expresses in Ontario. I don't know. I don't know if that's
Nah,
true,
bro.
but I've only seen one.
We have a place down the road. It's just it's called China House,
Oh,
and it is a buffet.
oh
So
shit!
you go in, and dude, this is ridiculous. You go in, you pay like $7 or $8.
What?
Just an insane amount. Like you can get, what, and the thing is like most people don't get that much food, so it's just like the illusion that you can have as much as you want, but most people can't eat that much. But if you really
Right.
wanted to, the strategy is you don't dine in. You get a to-go
Oh.
box,
Oh
and then you
fuck!
stuff that shit as much as you possibly can. Like the lid
Holy
won't
shit.
close.
God damn!
That
You
is
explained the
the
system.
strategy, and it's so good. And then there's another place called Zwan Fusion that is primarily a
Oh.
sushi restaurant, and it is
Mhm.
the best sushi I've ever fucking had.
Okay, I'm sorry to say this right now, but I don't like sushi.
You're fucking dude. Come on.
Dude, I've tried so many times ever since I was a kid. I just don't like fish.
You know what? I don't like
I don't
fish
know why.
either. I don't like fish either, but I don't like, this is going to sound redundant. I don't like fishy fish. Like I don't like fried fish. But if I got
Yeah, me neither.
if I got some special, if I got some specially treated like salmon nigiri,
Mhm.
tuna, spicy tuna, that's just crazy, dude. All right, I know
Damn.
that these were yes or no questions. I'm fucked. That wasn't even a yes or no question.
Oh yeah,
I
true.
fucked up my
Fuck it.
own format that I made up on
Fuck
the
it, we
spot.
ball.
Fuck it, we ball. All right, let's see here. Favorite plant?
Favorite plant. What's the name? Fuck. Venus flytrap.
Hell yeah, dude, you really are edgy as shit. Favorite color is black, and your favorite plant is Venus flytrap, a carnivorous
Dude,
plant.
I've always liked them.
I don't blame you. They're cool as fuck. I won't even lie.
Yeah.
They are cool as shit.
Exactly.
I would love to have one, and I would love to give it tons of little treats. Next
Exactly.
question. I had it and I forgot it.
I feel that.
Is this what interviewers do? They're just like, yeah, I fucking forgot what I was even doing.
Dude, I would never be able to interview someone.
Oh,
I'd lose
dude,
my train of thought
I
so
love
fast.
it. I love talking to people. I love talking about music. But man,
Right.
when a gear gets stuck, it does not get unstuck, dude. No amount of WD-40 is gonna fix the stuck gear in my fucking brain right now.
Oh god.
So I think we can probably wrap it up there. Thank you
Alright.
so much for joining me. This has
Of
been
course. Thank you for having me.
not only insightful but also delightful.
That rhymes. That was nice. That was really nice.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit of a lyrical miracle kind of guy.
Oh. Okay.
Before we close it out, tell us what you're up to. Plug any upcoming projects. Plug something that you just currently dropped. I know you just dropped a song, Domino Effect, which is on all platforms, correct?
Yes, it is.
It is a wonderful song. Go listen to that. So yeah, tell us what you're up to.
Yeah, Domino Effect, stream that. It's a new step in my sound, and for like the people that actually managed to watch it all the way through, I just made a song called Fade. I'm almost positive it's the next song that's coming out, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Is that the word? Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a
all right.
thing people say.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
But
well, thank you
yeah,
so much. This is Evergarden, and he has been wonderful. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Fucking Roblox, dude.
God damn.